Alley, coming at you from the privacy and safe sanctuary of my beloved benefactor's estate. I didn't mention it, but Chief Little Flower. Yeah, it's more like an afterthought. But at any rate, hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? How's everybody really doing? I ask because there's a lot of karma going on. I mean, it is the season of retribution for a lot of us. So if you guys have been running the sideways game, your day of reckoning is here. And I don't mean to, how can you say, be so blasé about it, but it is what it is, right? And so I just wanted to stop and pause here for just a moment. I'm talking to the opposition, and I'm talking to everybody who had knowledge and did nothing about it. You all are guilty as well. Whether or not you, took a knife and actually stabbed somebody, you were the speakeasy of the goddamn Sodom and Gomorrah that makes you a part of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm a messenger, and I'm relating everything as I feel led to in the spirit, and so in the events that anybody is in disagreement, that's good. We're all critical, independent thinkers. But I would encourage everybody to be cognizant or sentient of one's own internal homeostasis, one's own internal balance of ethics between what is just beyond morally, socially acceptable, but what is ethical. And so while there are differences in cultures across the board, ethics is basically a baseline, It's a acceptance of respect for one another. And so how that looks like may vary from time to time, like personal space. At the end of the line, it's respect, common decency for human life. And so when I'm very called to say is that if you haven't been living morally upright, it's not the end of your life, because every day is a good day to hit reset, get right with yourself, and do what it takes to serve the light. And so I don't know what that could look like for each of you, but I know I'm not perfect. But the line in the sand here is, do we have a teachable spirit? I remember, I'll summarize a teachable spirit. I love telling this story. I'll tell it another time. I'm going to take forever. But having a teachable spirit is what opens the doors for opportunity. And if you feel very steadfast in a particular way of thinking, we're all encouraged to, but to consider other polarities within the spectrum of that particular way of thought doesn't mean you discount it. It just means that you're expanding your mind with expansion packs, because how we feel about any given situation is only a piece of the larger picture. And it's never too late to get out of that tunnel way of thinking and living to consider the other pieces of the grid that light up the bigger picture. And everything is a work in progress. I have to say, one of the biggest wisdoms of pearls I had gleaned from my ex-husband, Timothy Regali. What's up, Tim? How's your dick? You still need the erectile dysfunction meds? Or did you just give up on sex altogether? I kind of did. I'm celibate. But most of all, how's your scrotum, honey? Oh my God, because you're going to need hyperplastic. Oh, is it hyperplasia? hyperplasia to that particular aspect of your integumentary system, because if it's thickened, it'll make your ass even go a lot easier whenever Karma Special K decides to unzip their pants for your extra graveyard gravy, anal gravy. Oh! My inspiration is my Ollie Wally. She had an Instagram that was vegan anal gravy. She's fucking hilarious. Hey, I don't judge. She's a comedian. Like her father, her grandfather. My mother is a comedian too. My style of joking is so much more different. It just happens to be by incident, and whenever I actually try, it just never really works out like that. So I just be me. But it's never too late to hit reset and get right with yourselves, you know? Oh yeah, so anyways, that's how I left off. I'm all like, yeah, Tim, you're gonna have anal gravy soup coming up for your Special K. Anyways, it's okay. You just never thought you'd get caught, did you? I love it. And then if you haven't been on the up and up, today, right now, is always a good moment to hit reset, get right on track. Because I could understand how going on a particular path may be so overwhelming to consider another way, but you all have hit the end of the pavement. There's no other way for you guys to go. The only way to go from here is either by hail or gunstorm, tornado, fire, or earthquake. For reals. You hit the end of the line, guys. But the avenue that's less traveled, the avenue that's less considered, is just to embrace prison already and just go on into that. I mean, people do it all the time. And they come out too. And they finish their sentence and they come out. But, you know, if that's like the worst thing in the world, that's not so bad, really. I mean, you can make the most out of it. Isn't there, I mean, honestly, you don't have to worry about trying to find a safe spot to drive. You don't have to worry about hustling for some food. I mean, all of your basic needs are met. I mean, you always have this. You can learn how to expand that pack you got going on in there with higher esoteric awareness of learning. There's always so much to do. I feel like just sitting down, you know? And you guys have all been going so fast, so hard, like 90 miles a minute. And a lot of you have been really doing a lot of methamphetamines and stimulants, because I've seen it. Over at whenever I was whenever I had been bamboozled by Tuesday 3-Star, not knowing that she was a coven member, and her buddy Jeff Weed, they basically linked up to bamboozle me, set me up, kill me. Those bastards. I thought they were my friends. Hashtag 2-Story. Now I understand why she really didn't like me. After a while I could tell. But I really thought we connected as like esoteric buddies and sisters. We did have a connection. And to me, that Tuesday, that meant a lot to me. Miss Velvet Rollers. There's a little piece of there in there I'd always love. No matter what, I connected with that woman. The other woman is a monster. It may have been a mask, sure, but I don't think it was a mask in the sense that it was a false part of you. I think it was an oppressed part of you that you opted not to nurture for whatever reason. Oh yeah, because y'all feed like satanic rituals and those demons take you over. But just know I saw the good in you. That's how I'll choose to remember you, but I know you were part of trying to kill me too. And Crystal, what's up, Crystal? No, it's an actual girl named Crystal. I really like that girl. But I wouldn't be so surprised if you weren't part of the coven, or if you were part of the coven, because reasons. And at any rate, so these coven members did smoke meth, and that's where I learned what the term crystal meant, or clear. Yeah. And I never partook of it, but I never judged them either. At that time, I was wrangling with what my role and balance is, because I do my best to bring a sense of ministering into the atmosphere that I'm at. But then I'm also learning where my boundaries are, and my boundaries are like, well, I'm over there, way over there. Because these guys, they really were trying to kill me, and they really were on crystal meth smoking it. So whatever. I'm a 420 girl. So whatever. Otherwise, you're gonna have to talk to me for the rest of the story, because right now what I really want to say is that for you folks that do that, y'all really need to slow down, my loves. Seriously. And going into prison, would you rather just be taken out unawares? Knowing that, say it's like this, if you know you were going to die and the choice was between actual death and actual prison, what would it be? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. I mean, how do I know this? Because number one, I'm a messenger. I'm being led in the spirit to speak about this. And number two, the very hand of the Most High, God, has kept me alive all this time. I mean, I have a sense of obedience in it, absolutely. But my sense of obedience would have been hollow without the very hand of the Most High. So this is where I get the privilege and the discernment to ask each of you, if you knew you were going to die a sudden death imminently versus going to jail, going to prison, which one would you rather? Because you can always let's put it this way, guys. You are at the finality at the end of your lives. For reals. I am here delivering a message because it's very personal. You all tried to kill me. The fact that I'm speaking to you at all is miraculous in of itself. So the miracle gets to speak. That's me. You all are at the finality, at the not even last lap. You guys are like at the last quarter of the final lap of your lives. So at this point, you can keep on going until you get suddenly whacked. Or you can go out in the blaze of glory by starting a whole new life from prison, in prison. And if you all have children that you love, you can either get whacked and be forever disconnected, or you can be the example of what it looks like to hit reset, get right with yourselves, and serve the light, and take it from there. You all have been going so fast, so hard, and so furious. I don't think each of you, any of you, know what it's like to actually slow down. And just because you're in prison doesn't mean you can't slow down and smell the roses exactly where you're at. You are the rose. You are the fresh scent that beckons the blossom in the bloom of the sunrise and in the sunset, in the valleys, between the mountains, along the edge of the babbling brooks. That's inside of you everywhere you are. I say that from experience. I mean, you all did try to isolate me and kill me. You know, it's a picture of what we bring inside each of us. But if you really, really want to learn, it's like tabula rasa. You have a brand new slate to work from. And honestly, I don't think any of you would be really getting it out in the wilderness in the wild, because there's too many drugs, there's too many distractions, there's just too many people to get in your way and tempt you from a productive life, from hitting reset. I mean, honestly, at this point in your life, it's either or: get whacked suddenly or begin a whole new life in prison. And, wouldn't it be so much better to die knowing you did what was right in the end, by telling the truth, by being the mover and shaker that way? I mean, if honestly, it's kind of like a kamikaze pilot with a true blaze of glory. I mean, because it's the prodigal son and the prodigal daughter that come home. Is honestly, I don't think any of you decided to grow up and be vehement, sniveling or groveling. Life has its way of throwing its own ebb and flow into the currents of our path, and we're all seeking solid footing. And a lot of you guys were born into covens that were born into unethical practices, but whether or not you were born into it, you still have an accountability of uprighting yourselves instead of perpetuating that genetic code. Because everything you do for yourself is exactly the gifts that we plant into our generations. This is the true inheritance. This is the true heritage. Money is just an added bonus, or it should be an added bonus. It should never have been the pinnacle of worth. And if it's what it became to you, then you completely lost sight of the race altogether. And that would never be accommodating of getting through the eye of a needle into the grace of God's kingdom. However, making things you can't touch the true riches, such as the courage to tell the truth, the courage to reset your soul, and the courage to admit to your children, I done fucked up. I'm sorry. I did you wrong. Can you help me get on track? And if they don't, it's okay. You help you get on track. And just by you doing that, you reset the DNA that you're accountable for passing it on to your children in immediate time. Now, they do have to work off karma, and their children will have to work off their karma, because it's a cycle. And the devil of which you serve will never tell you that. It wants to keep you on that hamster wheel so you can feed it. And now you are a slave to it. It will forsake you and laugh at you. But serving the light is always an investment to ourselves. We don't get me wrong, we get knocked out. You guys come over there and knock us out sideways. Y'all should know that. But is to say, every time we get knocked out, that while we're still doing the ethical practices, we are investing into our dividends. That's the spiritual inheritance we're supposed to leave for our children. It was never tied up in the dollar sign. Don't get me wrong. It's very much a nice side effect. But if that is the pinnacle of your heritage and your inheritance, you're missing the mark. You're missing the bigger grid of the overall picture. It's not so much missing the mark, it's missing pieces of the overall grid for the picture. So building our heritage, our spiritual heritage, is the true dowry we pass on in real time and into future generations. So choosing to invest in the heritage of telling the truth, if that's a first for your generation, then you are the hero. Choosing to go into the sunset just to be whacked off, knowing, I'm telling you this, knowing you are put on notice, that would be the trail of the zero. You all are worth so much more than that. You who have children, think about hanging in there for them and setting the new heritage of one who's aiming and striving to walk upright. And if that's the first, then you are the hero, honey. It's very polarized. But I love you all. Even those that, are trying to kill me. It's all good. I forgive you. With full love and endorsement of karma. I truly would love for karma to serve you in helping you to get clean and to serve the light and to serve the light. Because if you do that, then it's win-win for everybody. But that's what I really wanted to talk to you guys about. It's never too late. Now is always a great moment. At any rate, it is a finality. It's either or, friends. It's either get whacked all of a sudden or start a new beginning in prison. I love you. Going to prison and jail is not the end of the world. You can do it with dignity. You can do it with class. And you can do it soul searching at the same time. We're all a work in progress. That's only one piece of the puzzle moving forward. But trying to stay abreast and not get caught, you're going to get caught. And it's not whether or not the 3D will catch you, because hello 3D, feds, Department of Judicial. At the time of this recording, it is January 8th, 2024, and yet nobody has been dispatched to bridge the ambiguity with some truth in my case. I would like to get my teeth fixed. You all know and have known that these parasites were living off my means. Meanwhile, you all enabled them while I scrimped to get by. I'm still scrimping. I would like some money in my account and what belongs to me. It's not my fault that you guys let a bunch of psychopaths tool your fool asses. Now, if those assholes could get tooled and get their way within the Department of Justice, isn't there an upright practitioner in there that would say, get this girl some fucking money already? We'll work out the rest. There is a whole treason and slander circuit there. Why are they still getting their fucking paws scrubbed on? Now, if those assholes can be privy to those funds, why cannot the targeted individuals, everybody on that list, be partitioned the rest of those funds? Because if that doesn't happen, well, let's just say getting whacked or doing the right thing is a part of your immediate destiny. That happened like 5 minutes ago. So do what you want with it. I don't care. I'm just a messenger here. At any rate, Chief Little Flower, Patricia Ann Landon Regali, coming at you from the privacy and sanctuary of my benefactor's estate. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. At the time of this recording, it is Monday, January 8th, 2024.